Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, welcome to my set of videos. This is Patricia Ann Landon Regali, Chief Little Flower, coming at you from the trenches of having been targeted. I am a targeted individual that have been targeted since about the age of 25 for about a couple of years. Then it would recess into the background on and off until the year of COVID, about 2020, whenever the gang stalk, it had reemerged in full force and full effect. And so my videos they're about my experiences as a targeted individual. I had been railroaded out of a successful and thriving career as a paramedic. I've been a paramedic for about 13 years before I walked away from my profession as a paramedic for two reasons. The first one was so I could speak freely about being heavily targeted and gang stalked in medical facilities by other medical professionals. If I were to hold a job in the medical world, that would be a huge conflict of interest for me and any potential employer. And so I have a passion for sharing this with the world because what's happened to me can happen to anybody. And if we were to shrink in fear, how would anybody ever rise up to protect themselves and to arm themselves with the knowledge of objective data? And additionally, since I was being targeted in the medical world, I knew it was a matter of time before somebody was paid to bear false accusations against my license. In other words, it was a matter of time before people would just make false accusations on my license. So those were the two reasons why I had nobly walked away from my career as a paramedic. And so I decided not to renew my license, because if my license was inert and non-viable, nobody could make any accusation against it. So I stayed 10 steps ahead of the community-based harassment. And so these videos are about my thoughts. They're about my experiences as a heavily targeted individual.
Hey, it's Patricia Ann Landon Regali, Chief Little Flower, coming at you on this great, bright, rainy, beautiful day here on April 5th, 2025. Today is Saturday. So, how's it going for everybody? Are we standing strong? Are we weathering the storms? Hoorah! Because it matters. Well, I tell you what, I have been riding through my storm. Because when you are a heavily targeted individual and your life is disintegrated, like centimeter by centimeter, piece by piece, that's a lot of rebuilding to do. Because sometimes, as it is, all you can do is just simply hold tough, hang 10, and keep on swimming. Just keep on swimming, keep on swimming. And, that's each battle that you do, each day that you do that is a battle won. And so it's like learning how to walk through the eye of the storm and make it through to the other side without the scent of fire on you. And so that's what I've done. And as of this day, the gang stalking has gone down, say, from a scale of 1 to 10, a 20, to like a 3. So things have been mildly plateauing out for me. And if you've seen any of my videos, just like from a year or so ago, I was heavily getting grilled by the fire. And so while I do believe that if you move, it's going to follow you over there. I mean, say not follow you. It'll just spring up over there because the opposition has encampments throughout our country and throughout the globe. And when I say encampments, I mean a presence, not so much as a campground per se, but it's a business. It is a criminal crime ring. It's organized crime, organized community-based harassment. So the presence is everywhere. But notably speaking, off record, I had met this U.S. Marshal. He was a retired U.S. Marshal who was aware of the gang stalking program. And he was even A negative in his blood type. But what he told me off record is that he said 6 years, and I don't know if they take you off the list of those to be harassed. The list. Oh man, my mind is blanking on that one, but whatever. But 6 years. And I know I've been at it intensely for about 5-6 years. And so they gather intel on you for like 2 or 3 years before they start lighting a fire under your ass. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm coming up on. Now, whether or not the lack of community-based harassment is because I'm at the 6-year mark, or if it's because something else, I don't know. I mean, what do we really know to begin with? All we know is that the stage theater, the betrayals, the gaslighting is horrific in of itself. So each day we survive, that's a battle won. And the best that we can do through it all is to maintain our happy sunny side up, is to be resilient. And there is a targeted solutions on Reddit that I like to read. And so reading and responding is cathartic. And one of the posters on the Reddit says that what the opposition is afraid of is our resilience. Yes, we must be resilient. And whenever you don't let that, the stage theater and the intimidation tactics and the fear tactics, if you don't let it affect you, that's a battle won. That's another day won. That's another day that you're surviving. And before you know it, a lot of the bulk of it will be behind you. I can attest to that so far, but I'm still in a place of growing, and so not to give up too much intel on myself, because if I do, then the gang stalkers, the organized based criminal harassers will take pieces of that and use it against you. And so I'm just going to keep it vague as possible, but to say that I am rebuilding my life, and that is it's a journey. It's a huge journey. And I'd always remembered that it's a long way down when you fall from where you've been. And so I've been a thriving paramedic in a flourishing career. And suffice enough to say, I'm just happy to get back on my horse and in a direction. And so I'm happy that I haven't met much by way of stage theater, because I'm like, when you do that stage theater, I'm looking at you sideways that, oh, it's more than somebody losing their marbles. It's them losing their integrity. And if you don't have integrity, what do you have really? So, but in the past, I did once call out somebody on their gang stalking, but it was more of stage theater, and they were more putting triggers in the atmosphere. If you have to go to a class or a gathering and learn how to come sideways at somebody, you're a gang stalker. If you go get classes or go to, I don't know, some place of worship that they teach you how to stick it to somebody sideways by using deceit in any manner, you're a gang stalker. And I think the young lady didn't quite realize she was a gang stalker. She was putting little triggers in the atmosphere. Her and her mama was training her. And they both got so mad and pissed off that I let it slip that the kid was a gang stalker. And then I got read the Riot Act, and then if it wasn't true, why did they get so mad? The woman was like, before you come after my child. I'm like, dude, all I did was call her a gang stalker. And I didn't even do it in a mean way. I even have that recorded. And I wouldn't have said anything, but poof, it just came out. Because you can only push somebody for so long. You can only push somebody for so long. You can only push somebody for so long. And then it came out. But it came out in the most nicest or most polite way. Discussing one of the triggers in the atmosphere. It was the eyelash. Go visit the eyelash video. I got 2 conflicting reports on what that trigger was doing on the kitchen table. It was part of a template where they had usually placed triggers in the atmosphere, and that would set the tone was on the kitchen table, but whatever. So only God knows, right? That's why I stand on faith that this gang stalking operation will come to a full disclosure within the context of our humanity, within the context of our time era, and within the context of open disclosure. So, but until then, it is a testimony of faith, most definitely. And so, if you are participating as a gang stalker, I gotta let you know, honey, you're a piece of shit. But you don't have to stay a bloody piece of shit. You can be the prodigal son, the prodigal daughter, the prodigal family that comes back to serve ethics, to serve value, to bring substrate to our citizenship, not just to tear it down 9 ways from Sunday. Because if you participate in that, what you're doing is that you're participating in communism. You're participating in the degradation of human rights, because those human rights, they're not there if you need them. We're being exploited as it is. Visit targetedjustice.com. I have no affiliation with them other than the fact that their presence has brought so much hope to my life. That has brought so much meaning to being able to discern portions of what gang stalking is. If you're interested in learning, there is a resource. It is a full database of resources. But even then, targetedjustice.com had been targeted, and their website had gone off grid for a while, and it wasn't by anything of their doing. It was because they were targeted. How ironic is that? Targetedjustice.com was targeted, and now they're rebuilding their database. But if you really want to know the nuts and bolts, do your own research, because your liberty is at stake as a citizen. Your freedom is at stake as a citizen. And your ability to provide a sustainable life is at stake as a citizen, because look up what happened in World War II. There was blacklisting of employment. I was blacklisted for a long time, and the day that I figured it out was like a nightmare. Yes, it was. It was a nightmare, because that brought a lot of evidence to my eyes why I wasn't being able to get a job and get hired. So if you're blacklisted, that's against the law. That's crimes against humanity. And if you are an employer that supports blacklisting, that means your business ain't got no integrity. What happens if your business is a hospital and a hospital participates in blacklisting people and participates in stage theater? What does that say about the safety of said hospital? I'm not making any accusations against anything. These are hypothetical scenarios. And what if you're an ambulance service? Oh my God. God forbid that you participate in blacklisting. Don't tell me that there's a list of who not to hire in ambulance services, is there? Because that would mean the people who put that list together ain't got no integrity. Would you want to bring your business, life and death, to an ambulance service that would ever participate in any respect of gang stalking, in any respect of community-based organized harassment? Would you feel safe as a patient if an ambulance service were known to participate in the gang stalking, organized community-based harassment in any respect? I would consider that dangerous. And what if you are a grocery store that rolled over its real estate to promote gang stalking through stage theater? How do you know that your wares and your food isn't poisoned? Would you feel comfortable as a patron bringing your business to a grocery store that was known to participate in organized community-based harassment known as gang stalking? Would you feel comfortable patronizing them with your hard-earned money? These are questions that you need to answer for yourselves, because the time will come whenever open disclosure happens and targeted individuals, hold on, just make it moment by moment, day by day, and each day you wake up is a day and is a battle won. Because we know what the opposition really wants, and it's a trifecta of burning people and cashing people out. I mentioned the trifecta before. I'm not going to mention it now. And the bonus they get through the energy harvesting. So, but I'm rebuilding my life. And I have a lot of hope. And I'm not going to shut up until open disclosure does happen. And I'm not giving up my hope that open disclosure about the gang stalking through organized community-based harassment has made it front and center in the public. I'm not the only one. I'm just one of many. And I'm just one of many who have gone public with it and who have decided that knowledge is freedom, and we need the freedom to be able to speak the knowledge of what we've been through so others can protect themselves And so our future generations does not become laid waste to fear and does not become laid waste to intimidation. And that our citizenship is protected and that our rights as a humanity can stand strong against the crimes of gang stalking. Thank you for watching my videos. I do my videos because, yes, it's a very special niche. But there's others out there like me in different portions of their walk and journey. And if I help one person, I've helped a million. And one day, whenever our grandchildren's grandchildren can look upon the past at us as ancestors, that my video testimonies will stand the test of time and hopefully teach future generations what we went through as a generation, what we're going through as a generation, and hopefully what we survive as a generation. Until then, peace out. Bye for now. See you in the next video. Patricia Ann Landon Regali, Cheap Little Flower, signing off for now. Bye-bye.